So we're now in the centre of Ghent, looking at some charming historic buildings. The sun has come out at last, and there's some very interesting medieval churches and charming little buildings around here. I think this is the town hall straight ahead. Now, in all honesty, Ghent looks a bit of a dump when you get here on the train. Very ugly modern buildings, but once you penetrate the old town, it's quite quaint and there's some very charming little buildings. And there seems to be a charming medieval castle here. Ghent is a very poorly organised sort of place. We're heading to the Tourist Information Centre now to try and get a map of the city. It seems a very ramshackle, rambling sort of city. There's no centre to it. So we'll pop in here and see what we can see on the map. As always, the lovely gabled buildings are much in evidence in Ghent. A very charming bell tower there. So now we're heading to the cathedral. So we're on the cathedral square now and we're about to enter the cathedral. So inside the cathedral it's a typical old church. This is known as Mystic Lamb, this triptych. It's the Mona Lisa of Ghent. So looking out from the cathedral onto the square is very impressive architecturally. That clock tower is called the Belfort building, and collectively this little street is known as the medieval Manhattan because of all the tall towers and impressive buildings.
Well, we haven't properly found the one to
This is one of the main squares of Ghent. So to round off the day's events, we're going to visit the castle in Ghent. You get a pretty impressive view from the top of the castle, even on this filthy day. And there's a nice view of the old houses along the riverbank from the castle walls. This is the inner courtyard of the castle where executions were held. Ghent does look a little bit more knocked about and workaday than Bruges. It's not quite as brightly painted and tarted up, and yet these old houses are very interesting to look at, even though they look slightly decayed. And down by the river we can see lots of boat traffic going up and down now that the sunshine has come out a bit. There's some very charming old houses. So all in all, it's been a grand day out in Ghent.